Alright, this strategy sounds pretty crazy, so I'm excited to show up for Fan Fridays. Let's get into the battle and watch all of it unfold. So this is a new combo for the 7th generation. We have Electivire Exploud and Z moves and all kinds of fun things in combos. So this is just ridiculous right here. And the crazy thing is that Exploud is a Pokemon that doesn't get too much play, but every time it shows up, you know, we have like Scrappy, Boomburst, and we just nuke the opponent into oblivion. So let's watch how the strategy has adapted against this shiny lead right here. So Electivire, what's it going to do? After the opponent withdraws Gyarados, yeah, Electivire is going to scare off Gyarados is what happens as we go into the Gliscor. Of course, it's shiny, and that's going to be a Z move. So here it is, Z something. And it's going to go and boost the special attack of the Electivire, and then Ion Deluge. So that's going to make it to where all the moves become electric, and Exploud goes for the Boomburst, which procs Electivire's Motor Drive, and now we're going to go for the damage. So how much is that Boomburst going to do to the Trevenant? Actually, not a lot, because resisted hit, and like then it loses stab and stuff, but it looks like it's not about trying to get the Exploud as much damage as possible. Like, Exploud is just mid-damage support at this rate, but Electivire just went +1 special attack and +1 speed. So now it can outspeed a lot, have insane damage on special attack, and Trevenant going to go for that Protect. What is Electivire going to do? Hidden Power. Oh, Hidden Power Ice. And Bodied. Okay. That seems like it's not going to go very well for the Trevenant. Exploud has the Fire Blast as well. I mean, that's generally what we see. We see, like, the Fire Blast next to the Boomburst, just in case. That way you can still get a little bit of damage down onto those Steel-type Pokemon that resist you. And Volcarona, of course, shiny coming in right now. So, Electivire with a Thunderbolt. Just going to +1 Thunderbolt onto the Volcarona. Good amount of damage. Does get a Paralysis. And Volcarona gets paralyzed. Ooh. That's some heat right there. Exploud throws down the Fire Blast on the Trevenant. Trevenant will survive it. And that's going to be Citrus Berry. Is he in a range? Yeah, he pulls himself over. So he doesn't get the double healing. And is he going to get the Harvest as well? So Leech Seed onto Electivire does kind of add up the amount of healing it's going to get. And Trevenant just kind of shrugged off that Fire Blast. That's why Trevenant can be a pretty ridiculous Pokemon at times. Did take a little bit more damage, but either way, does have that pretty crazy sustain right now, and Trevenant does harvest and find the Citrus Berry. But is it going to be enough? Because we know everything outspeeds. Electivire does get the Thunderbolt that's going to one-hit KO the Volcarona, and then we'll see like another Fire Blast. I mean, you just have to go for like the double down on the damage right there. So Fire Blast hits the Trevenant, drops it down. Citrus Berry going to happen, but the burn, that's going to be very bad for the Trevenant. Even if it's having like double Leech Seed being received, it's still +1, and then we know that the Hidden Power Ice is on the way. So, good attempt from the Trevenant overall. But it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. And then, like, the cool thing about Trevenant is like the amount of sustain this Pokemon pulls is pretty crazy. It's going to be getting like a quarter of its health back from that, a quarter of its health from the Citrus Berry. The burn's just a little annoying. If it wanted to go for the Horde Leech, it can heal off that as well. So it's trying to tank. There's just too much damage for it to deal with. Electivire's burned, Trevenant's burned, and then Harvest or no Harvest. Harvest come through 2 turns in a row right there. And then the Gyarados. Alright, I forgot about the Gyarados. I thought the game was like just over. But Trevenant does have the double Leech Seed, so we're going to see where that goes. Pretty much the idea is like either Gyarados dies immediately, or you just Hidden Power and then you go for like the single target Boomburst, split Boomburst. Different things could happen, but it is going to be the Mega Gyarados. I mean, if you're going for like a speed investment on the Electivire to make use most of that +1, I think it'll be okay even if Gyarados goes for like a Dragon Dance or something. Trevenant with the Protect, and then Electivire with the Thunderbolt. So just Thunderbolt, KO the Gyarados. Trevenant, while it is being kind of annoying with the Leech Seed, you can just kind of go and ignore it. But yeah, Trevenant will protect from that Fire Blast, will gain even more health back, and depending on where like the damage range goes on that first hit, gets the Citrus Berry, and then it's going to be kind of difficult to take down. So it's one of those decisions that you look at, it's like, okay, Trevenant, it's doing things, but it's not an immediate threat to really anything on the team, even though it is like, it's just not dying. It's just kind of hanging around there for a bit. Now let's see what we can do to it for this turn. Burn comes through. It already has Citrus Berry, so no need to harvest that one again. Electivire has Flamethrower. Oh, so the Hidden Power Ice isn't bad enough. We have Flamethrower on top of it. So Ion Deluge, Flamethrower, Hidden Power Ice. Trident tanks it. And like I said, we're going to see a little bit from that Citrus Berry. X-Cloud also has the Ice Beam. So going for the reliable damage, and it will finally be enough to take down the Trevenant. So you have Flamethrower, Hidden Power Ice, Thunderbolt, going for the rainbow coverage right there, and that will be enough to take down the opponent's team. And both Pokemon are still standing in the end, so let's go and check out some more battles. Alright, let's get into the next battle. Also, I do know that Ion Deluge only affects normal type moves that, you know, I just kind of misspoke it, and I realized, I'm like, wait, I think I said that wrong in the beginning of the video, and just in case I did, that's why I'm going to say it. But let's get into this battle and see how it plays out. Toxapex, Silvally for the opponent. So, heavy bulk, low damage. You know, this team composition needs more damage and might even have too many snipers. So let's go and see how this one plays out. Electivire going to do its thing. And it's actually the fastest Pokemon on the field. So, I don't know if that's a testament to the 7th generation, just like slower bulk Pokemon or what. But that's going to be the Z Ion Deluge, and then just gaining special attack. Like, I love it. The little bits of combos that just kind of appear. But the opponent also going to throw a Z move down for himself. So Silvally looking to go for a KO. And what's it going to do? It's going to unleash the full Z Force move. But, oh, I've never seen that before. I didn't know that's how it would work. Oh, it's done. It was going to be the Breakneck Blitz or something like that. Yeah, and then Ion Deluge made it electric, so it got canceled, and then Motor Drive ended up picking it up, and then free Boomburst, I guess, and then you get extra Motor Drive, so that's double speed right there on top of the special attack. Yeah. It's not going to go too well, and Electivire with the Thunderbolt onto Silvally, +1. Even with Silvally's bulk, it will go down. And then X-Bot even has a Shadow Ball for the Mimikyu. Okay. So that's going to break the disguise. I mean, there's just so much that you can do after that. You double Shadow Ball, it's done. We have Toxapex, so that's going to be just an electric type move onto the Toxapex. And what is going to happen? Oh, it's the forfeit. So, wrecked. Oh my goodness. That's just so, oh, that's so mean that you just see, like, I'm charging up for my special attack. Ding. Motor Drive. Okay, let's do one more, because that was like a third of a battle. And let's get into it. Also, respect for the opponent for bringing that Pikachu. But is the Pikachu going to be enough? Like, that's electric, so it could help pump up the Motor Drive, maybe. We know it's Shadow Ball on the X-Cloud. We know there's also Scrappy. And I don't really see, like, a Sludge Bomb from the Gengar really devastating the bulk of the Electivire. So maybe a little bit of Fake Out, maybe some shenanigans will happen. But that's going to just be the Z move right there for the Electivire. Okay, then. Electivire boosting its special attack. Just fun stuff. That's the Ion Deluge. And then Boomburst. Like, the combo itself is pretty fancy. I will give it that. Gengar with the Shadow Ball. That's going to connect to the Electivire, but not an insane amount of damage. Pikachu with a Thunderbolt. And that's also going to be a little bit of a hit right there, but X-Cloud's Boomburst. Motor Drive will pick that one up for the speed gain, and then it's going to just be solid damage. See, this is what I mean. Like, it's a mid-damage. Oh, that was even... Wow, that Pikachu is... Is that, like, Eviolite Pikachu? That'd be silly, because, like I said, we have, like, mid-damage. Like, sometimes X-Cloud with that Boomburst, if you're, like, super supporting it, you get the specs down, and you really maximize that thing's damage. It does get pretty terrifying. But with this, like, alright, X-Cloud's going to pick up anything else, or the Electivire is going to go for that extra damage. And then the Boomburst is just a little bit of icing on the cake while gaining special... Or while gaining speed, while gaining special attack. So now it's going to be Alakazam Decidueye. Scrappy doesn't really care too much about that. And then, or you can just Ice Beam the Decidueye and try to just one-shot the Alakazam. Shadow Ball's an option. There's a lot of things you could do to this team right now, and none of them end well for the opponent. There we go. So, Alakazam's going to trace the Motor Drive. Oh, that could get bad. But Electivire with that +1 flamethrower onto the Decidueye. Is that going to be enough to KO? Yes, it will be. Oh man, it's been a while since I've looked at Electivire stats. I'm like, this thing is doing much more than I thought it would. Exploud will take the hit, become confused right there. Exploud's confused, hits itself in confusion. Alakazam buying itself a little bit of time, and then we're going to see Electivire go for the flamethrower, taking the damage because you can't hit the motor drive anymore. +1 flamethrower, solid hit on Alakazam, does find the burn. So much status happening in these games though. And then Psybeam onto the Electivire will be enough to take down the Electivire. So of all the things to score a KO first, it's going to be the Psybeam Alakazam with a Shadow Ball for the super effective damage, and that will be enough to take it down. So GG right there. And yeah, Electivire only has 95 on special attacks. That +1 going pretty crazy. 95 on that speed as well. So that's why it was outspeeding some of the other Pokemon that we saw. Like, I thought it was like in the 80s, but no. You just max out speed at 95 and you do very well for yourself. Getting +1 that special attack and then craziness. So the Ion Deluge is kind of like having a Choice Scarf and Choice Specs in one and then not being locked into the item is kind of like your item choice on it. And then you just put in work with good coverage. And then there's also some follow-up. So there we go, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the battles. Got some more Fan Fridays coming up in a bit. Thank you very much for watching.